We are recording. All right. Andrew Riffle, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem. I appreciate the offer.
So you are our serial entrepreneur. All the people that I've talked to so far, they've had one thing going on. You seem to have multiple things going on. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, I thought that was a good thing up till about 6 weeks ago. But yeah, ever since I was in high school, I've always had, I guess, that just wanted to do my own thing type of mentality. Started up a lawn care when I was in high school. Before I even had my license, I just started mowing some individuals' yards to produce revenue. Everybody likes to have that money, right? I wanted to be able to go do whatever I wanted with my friends or buy the car I wanted. So I started up a lawn care business, which is still actually around at this time. Dad manages and runs that. We are about 65 to 70 yards a week. So then I've been involved in a few businesses and worked at a few businesses, one of which was a whistle stop. So started working there in 2005 and had an opportunity to purchase it in 2015. It was always a dream of mine to be able to purchase that. And I finally got that accomplished in 15. Since then, we've bought two Cold Stones, one at Austin Landing and one at the Green. Me, my wife, and then my brother and his wife all own those. And then here soon, we will be working on Sure Shot Tap House. So that's the latest project we have on our list of things to get accomplished. Unfortunately, with COVID, that is going to be a little behind, but we have every intention of still doing that as well.
I heard about Sure Shot. I was actually in Greenville when I saw it being worked on. I think you guys are going to be replacing a new, like an older restaurant or something like that.
Correct. So we bought a downtown building about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we were going to renovate that. And then we caught wind that another downtown restaurant was actually going to be closing. So we sparked up a conversation with that building owner and was able to come up with an agreement to get that purchased. It just made more financial sense. It was already set up as a restaurant. We go in, rebrand it, retheme it, and get it open very quickly. So now we own two downtown buildings in Greenville, which is fine. Me and my wife love downtown Greenville and the architecture that the buildings offers, and all the business owners downtown Greenville are great. We're looking forward to meeting more of them and building those relationships so we can all work together to make our county even better than it already is.
Nice. Let me see. I think I found it here on Facebook. Is this it? Yeah, this is it.
Sure Shot, yep. Here recently, Sure Shots, we've been trying to use their platform to help keep the whistle alive and well, as you can see.
Gotcha.
Why? We are still working behind the scenes on that, but right now, our attention, I would say originally our attention after COVID was announced, Governor DeWine's announcement, that's something I'll never forget. I was actually at my parents' house that day with my whole family, and we couldn't believe what we saw on TV. It was very emotionally overwhelming. But luckily I have the best project team around and best employees around. And that day we got started, we got to work. What do we need to do to maintain? What do we need to do for a 30-day plan, a 60-day plan, a 90-day plan? And we are still working that now.
Nice.
Unfortunately, COVID-19, fortunately, it's going to come to an end. Unfortunately, it'll take months to get for our customers to feel comfortable coming back into the dining rooms of our restaurants. So there's a lot of action items that we need to do to make sure they feel comfortable coming back to the Whistle Stops and the Cold Stones and all restaurants. The landscape of the restaurant dining is going to change forever. There's no doubt about it. So what do we think that's going to look like? And what do we need to do to make sure we are in a position to not only keep our current customer base, but grow our customer base, because maybe our competition's not in that position of doing things they need to. Whether that's paper menus, I think, because let's face it, menus, do they get cleaned? Yes. Do they get cleaned as much as they should post-COVID? So I think you're going to see more paper menus, digital menu boards. I think there's numerous other things that we have on our project list that are going to change forever. So that's some of the stuff that we're starting to work on now.
I like that. You mentioned something really, really important, especially for restaurant owners. you said 30-day plan, 60-day plan, 90-day plan. I don't think the majority of restaurant owners are thinking like right now. They're just thinking in the now. That's why this frenzy is taking effect. But you mentioned something really good, which is a long-term plan, not just what's going on right now. You're accepting what's going on right now. It is hard emotionally, economically, and all that, but you're still keeping the eye on the ball long term. You are still planning to come back. Tell us a little bit about like when you plan, what are you thinking about? Like let's say for example a 90-day plan for the Whistle Stop. What are you envisioning?
Well, I think anybody who knows me knows my brain never shuts off, whether that's a Sunday afternoon or a Monday, and it probably, quite frankly, annoys some people that are on my project team. But we have a project list that is pages and pages long, and luckily, um, due to that project list, we were in position when COVID hit, at least at the Whistle Stop, we're in position that we kind of just kept on trucking. We were very concerned about what the day-to-day operation was going to look like. We did have to maintain. We had to cut our hours. We had to, unfortunately, cut some staffing and labor. We had to make a lot of changes. But luckily, due to previous projects, online ordering was already done. Delivery was already done. Our carryout business was already 51% of our business because we were kind of swinging that. The world's changing. We kind of saw that it was changing, so we worked on a lot of those projects. And when COVID hit, we were positioned very nicely to just continue operating as normal. But going back to the 30, 60, 90-day plan, unfortunately, depending on what your business is, it looks different. And what I mean by that is the Whistle Stop, probably going to lose some race traffic sales. Eldora in the summer is a huge portion of our revenue stream. So, we're working through what that's going to look like potentially this year. We hope Eldora maybe is up and operational by June, but realistically, it probably won't be. Switching gears a little bit to Cold Stone, we're working on more like a 9-month plan. Why? Because before the consumers feel comfortable enough to return to maybe like a Cold Stone or other restaurants like that, our busy months might already be passed by. They might not start feeling comfortable to return to a Cold Stone until August, September. Well, as you know, ice cream becomes less fun come September, October, November. So we're putting a 9-month plan into place there, sadly, because we feel like our season this year could be wiped away, which is hard. So although I'm very optimistic and positive about Whistle Stop, we are deeply concerned and working day in and day out just more on the maintaining that the Cold Stone stores, because it's just different. You're in a city, high rent, it's a treat. Whistle Stop, you have to eat to survive. Cold Stone is more of a treat. So even though they're both in the restaurant industry, the plans that we have in place for both of those look drastically different.
I bet. Yeah. You mentioned Cold Stone. We were talking about Cold Stone Creamery. Is the franchise, is Cold Stone helping you guys a little bit with like consulting and like giving you are they doing a little hand holding?
Yeah, the nice thing about Cold Stone is that, the brand, the name, the product's great. And that's one thing that intrigued us to it. And another thing is that some people don't realize too, and I will speak whether it's Scott Family McDonald's in Greenville or a lot of these franchises, people like, we need to support mom and pop shops. And I agree, but sometimes don't forget about the Subways of the world and the McDonald's of the world, Cold Stones of the world, because they are owned by people that you go to church with, that you live side by side. These are independently owned and operated with individuals from your communities. So although it might look like they are, everything's green and rosy on the outside, doesn't necessarily mean that it is on the inside. Because, again, the rent is high. The expenses are high because they're typically positioned in areas where rents, those expenses are just much higher than Darke County, Ohio. Getting back to your question, Cold Stone is with royalty fees. They've done some creative things to help us. They can move a little quicker. So we already had third-party delivery at all the Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash, and all those. We already had those, but they've curbside pickup. They can move like that. Curbside pickup was kind of just something people I mean, that wasn't really a thing, but they were able to get it up and operational on coldstone.com literally in hours or days. So that was nice. So yeah, there is pluses and minuses to being a franchisee in the corporate world.
Right. Has curbside pickup been helping a little bit with the sales, or are you guys still behind?
Yeah, the third party delivery, I mean, thank God we have those things, third party delivery and curbside pickup, and you can still order online and come in the store and get it and be gone real quick. You know, we're taking all the precautions in the stores with the X's on the, you know, we have a sanitized pen holder cup of pens and a dirty. That way when people sign their credit card slips, we have X's on the floor. We're doing all those things that, you know, are need to be done at our stores. I mean, everybody that is trying their damnedest to stay open or doing everything possible to keep their employees safe and keep their customers safe, and we are doing the same. So
Nice. What about the whistle stop? What is the operation right now? Are you guys doing curbside pickup or delivery or?
so luckily we have a drive-through there, and that's always been a strong portion of our business, and now obviously it's even stronger. So we were very fortunate there. Delivery, we opened up for sales, Union City, Rossburg, Greenville. So it's all, I can go on behind the scene. I can just stretch the geo fence on the system we use, but we just opened it wide open. If we get a call, like sometimes we take call-in deliveries as well. But if one of my employees says, "Do we go here?" We go anywhere, like unless it's obviously, you know, 2 hours away. But right now we're not turning anything. We're in survival mode. So anybody who's willing to purchase a Whistle Stop pizza, we'll take it to them within reason.
Nice.
But we've actually, so the first couple of weeks were emotionally straining. We were adjusting, reacting, adjusting, reacting. Sat down with my project team and my dad, and we finally said, you know what? Let's start working on our business. So we're doing okay at the Whistle Stop. We had all these projects we wanted to do anyway. We knew now a better time. DeWine came back out, you know, and said, okay, we're going to be shut down until May now. So we said, this is the ideal time to make our business better. So we come out of this as maybe one of the restaurant that people want to go see. And what were they up to when they were shut down? So what I mean by that is we've actually are totally doing a renovation of the dining room. We've gutted it. Floors gutted, drop ceilings gutted. I'm excited about it. I'm stressed about it. I don't know if I have any zits, but you know how that goes. You're going to put new carpet in your house or something, and it turns into one massive project. So I will say, I won't give out too many details because we want customers to come see it when we do get it, open it. Nice. But they are going to be shocked. It's not a simple renovation either. It's going to position us to come out of this in a very, very good shape to our customers. I think they're going to be excited to see it. We haven't posted any pictures yet online. We will start here shortly, probably the next few weeks. Again, number one priority is to continue to take care of our customers. They're doing a great job supporting us every day, especially on the weekends. And then, you know, then second priority is what can we do to, you know, improve our operations. It's no secret. People have known we needed to replace a floor for a couple years. You know, hasn't been replaced for probably 30 years. So it was the ideal time. It was scary to write that check for the floor, but we're shut down anyway. It just makes too much sense not to do it. So that was the decision that we made as a project team.
That is pretty gutsy. Like everyone's retracting. Everyone's like holding on to their capital, and meanwhile you're going out and you're already looking at the Whistle Stop in 2021, and you're envisioning what's going on there.
Exactly. And my recommendation to all business owners, whether you're in a restaurant business or a boutique or whatever, is think outside the box. You know, a typical transition between a buyer and seller previous to COVID was, I want that, what's it cost, here's the money, right? So what I did is I went out, we're going to put all new doors and windows in, flooring, we're doing a lot of different things, but I went out there's a lot of it we're going to try to do in-house, but the people that I had to reach out to because it's their profession, whether it's electricians or doors and stuff, is I said, we're in the same boat. You're a small business. Your business has been affected. My business has been affected. What if, could it be an option that I cut you the first check June 1st, and then I cut you the final payment August 1st? And a lot of these people are in the same boat. They're trying to keep their employees employed. They're trying to keep revenue just churning. And everybody I've reached out to, all the deals are a little different, but everybody I've reached out to, in one way or another, worked out an agreement with me that we're not footing the bill for the project day one. So, and honestly, without maybe asking those questions, we probably wouldn't have been able to do the project in the scope that we are. That's my biggest, I really would tell everybody, I've reached out to Spectrum. Hey, there's nobody in our dining room. Can I go to seasonal? Yep, no problem. Well, I got you on the phone. Money's tight. My bills crept up $350. I've been a customer a long time. What can you do? Boom, 120 knocked off the bill. So never be scared, whether it's a multi-billion-dollar company that you're getting service from, or a mom and pop that's just right in your home, right down the road in your hometown. Don't be scared to ask them tough questions, because the worst thing that they're going to tell you is no, right? We get told no all the time. So, if you ask the questions, I think you'd be shocked of how people will work with you on whatever it is you're trying to work on. So
I like that a lot, man. That's so refreshing to hear. So businesses, not just yours, but the other businesses, are getting flexible because times are hard. So they're finding ways to do business, not ways not to do business. Mm-hmm. And they're also getting creative. You guys are you said you're calling the Spectrum and like cutting expenses here and there. I think it's really refreshing to hear, especially from restaurant owners, because you guys are you got hit the worst, kind of.
Yeah. And again, we're no different than any other restaurant. We filed EIDLs for all 4 businesses. We filed PPPs for 2 of the 4 businesses. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we haven't heard really anything on either of those items. I'm not giving up hope, but it's been a little more discouraging than I was, because these decisions that our management team made weren't yesterday. These were things that we made day one. So our EIDLs have been submitted since day one. As soon as Ohio became listed as an approved disaster state from the federal government, we filed like 8 o'clock in the morning. We had everything ready. So I'm a little frustrated on what the holdup is. And again, fortunately, we were scared. Fortunately, Whistle Stop is doing okay. But I worry about a lot of these other business owners that, again, are they competition? Yes, but we live with these people. There's enough business to go around. Are they going to make it? I don't know. I mean, the money is coming way too slowly, I think, for a lot of these business owners. So I'm hoping, and I know nobody expected this. Like the SBA didn't say, hey, I feel like we should hire 500 people because coronavirus is coming down, no. So I get it. Everybody is working as hard as they possibly can, but I don't know what can be done, but they just got to get those funds freed up quickly.
Right. Yeah, no, that like everyone should definitely jump on that train and fill out their, whether it's PPP or whatever it is. And you guys got a lead on that. I think we've filed ours too, but we have yet to hear anything.
And again, you have to take the money. I mean, maybe from when you file to now, things have changed. And you're like, okay, we're doing okay. Nobody wants to get a second mortgage on their building or car or anything for that matter. So I really don't want to utilize the SBA funds if I don't have to. But again, at that time, things were scary. We've adjusted. We're sitting pretty good. So again, if the SBA has Whistle Stop, you're approved for $100,000, be like, well, we appreciate it. But at this time, we are not interested. I think we're getting closer to the end than we are to the beginning. So again, I'm happy we filed, and we'll see what happens. But again, that's my recommendation to people is file. And if you don't take the money, you don't take the money. They're not going to, if you don't want the money, they're not going to force you to take the money. So. Yeah.
Agreed. You mentioned earlier in the beginning of the call, you guys do lawn care as well. Is that a major operation or like a startup? What kind of?
No, it's just I started that as just a way to make money to buy basketball shoes in high school and
Oh,
college.
that's the same business. It's been that same business that you started
So it
in.
started in 2001, and then it keeps dad works full time doing that, and then he takes care of my rentals and stuff.
Oh,
And then
nice.
we have one employee. So again, about 40 hours a week per each employee. We have two routes. They both go separate ways and work as a team to knock all the yards out on a given week. But yeah, it's just in all reality, the reason we kind of keep it going is because we have great customers and because I own 20 rentals. So we're got to mow the rentals anyway. So we already have the
I'm
equipment.
sorry, I missed that. The reason why you kept it going is because you have.
I own about 20 rentals, and
Oh,
we mow a good chunk of them because they're maybe a duplex, triplexes, and stuff. So I'm already going to have to. I'm either going to have to A, foot the bill to have somebody else mow them, or B, have the equipment and personnel to mow them. So that's kind of why the mowing business has just kind of kept going. It's not overly hugely profitable. It helps pay the bills and we make a little bit of money, but again, it's just to keep our, we're going to have to pay for that service regardless. So
I like that. So the lawn care business is helping your real estate business, kind of.
correct.
Yes.
Again, it does help pay the salary. I mean, it pays the salaries of the individuals that are mowing, no problem. So it does cash flow pretty nicely. But we're not, we're not a Spencer's or a Florey's. They're 25 times bigger than we are. We just kind of do it to keep busy and again keep our rentals mowed at the same time.
Great. Wow, you have so much on your plate, Andrew. It's crazy. I'm taking notes here.
But again, I still do have a full-time job at Crown Equipment. And I've learned a lot there. I joke that it's free education because Crown is a multi-billion-dollar company. They've done extremely well over the last 10 years. They invest in their employees heavily. So I've learned so much and taken what I've learned from Crown and applied it in all of my businesses. They're a lean thinking company. How can we make our operations safer, have better quality, and be more productive? And so I try to have that mindset with all my businesses. So a lot of my employees always joke, "You're not at Crown, Andrew. You're not at Crown." But really, at the Whistle Stop, how can we keep our employees safe? How can we put a better quality of product out to our customer base, and at the same time be lean? So we always keep those things in mind in everything we do. But I think that's really helped by being involved in different businesses, whether it's a franchise with Cold Stone or a mom and pop with the Whistle or a multi-billion-dollar corporation with Crown, or all these things. They kind of just go together, and you learn things from one thing and apply them to another. So in all honesty, we never had delivery about a year ago at the Whistle Stop. We put in third-party delivery at Cold Stone, and it instantly was huge sales. So based off of that, I'm like, this is going on the project list. We have to do this at the Whistle. Now I look like a genius because of COVID. But so that's just one example of many that we're just trying to see what's working there. Can we apply it here? And if we can, let's do it.
That's something I wanted to ask you about. Like, how are you able to juggle multiple businesses and still have a job, a job?
Yeah. Well, it's not easy, especially if you ask my wife. I'm easily distracted. As you can tell, my brain's always 10 miles an hour. But what I will say is, so at the top of the pyramid is my dad, Daryl, and Jessica. They handle all the day-to-day. So sometimes people joke, "I don't see you at the Whistle Stop much." Well, you might not see me, but I'm there, trust me. And maybe not actually physically, but mentally I'm always there. So what I feel like I'm good at is the project. What is the 3-month plan, year plan, 5-year plan? I like working on that. I feel like that's my calling, so that's what I like to work on. And if you put people in strategic places where they excel, it's going to make my life easier. So Dad and Jessica are at the top of that pyramid, but there's so many people, so many other people, all of our employees. They've adapted to change. I will speak to that. A lot of people don't like change. At the Whistle Stop over the last 5 years, I mean, it would take me an hour podcast to tell you everything we've done to improve the operation, improve the customer experience. But at the same time, they've not only brought ideas to the table that we implemented, but every time we take them and change, they roll with it. Do they give us feedback of how maybe, okay, overall it's a good idea, but we need to dial it in this way a little bit or dial it in that way? Of course they did. No idea is going to be a perfect idea. And they're living the operation every day. So we need to listen to that feedback. But so again, everybody from all the employees to Dad and Jessica, even my wife and my brother Adam, all of my family's involved and help and make strategic decisions to make sure that we are continue to provide a great establishment to our community. I always kind of joke, we're just fortunate we took the torch from a previous ownership group that did a great job with the whistle, and they took the torch from a previous ownership group that did a great job with the whistle. So this is our time with the whistle. Let's leave it in a better position than when we took it over. And that way, the next ownership group after us will hopefully do the same. So the whistle stop's been involved in Ansonia for over 100 years. So let's make sure we don't screw it up.
Yes. You said you say a lot of things you're going at 100 miles an hour, but you do mention some really great points. One of them is you're not really romantic about a specific process. Like you never stick to one thing just because it's working now. Whenever there's a change, you pivot immediately. Like you make changes and you don't stay romantic to that single process. Even though the whistle stop has been existing for a while, you did not go, oh, this is how things have been done and this is how we should keep them. Yeah. You're very flexible.
And that's not easy because there's a happy medium there where you want to keep to the roots of what the whistle stop is. But you can't just fall in love with it, because then next thing you know, your competition is going to be flying by you. So you have to continue to improve it and be willing to accept change. And this project that I mentioned earlier that's happening at the whistle stop, we've had numerous conversations about that, because we are teetering there. This remodel is going to blow the socks off a lot of people. 95% of the customers are going to be like, well overdue, bravo, at least I hope. 5% of them, they're going to feel like, it's not the same old whistle stop potentially. Even though we've thought about, keeping to our core as much as possible, at the same time as trying to just make the facilities more enjoyable for everybody. So yeah, I think it's important to go both ways. But like you said, if you ever get so, attached with something that you don't accept change, I just don't really think you're going to be there at the finish line.
I agree. Yeah, change is hard. People would rather die than change. And I like that. I like that you're not rigid. You're very flexible and you roll with the punches. You mentioned, let's see, creativity. And you said there's a surprise coming, right, at the whistle stop. That's what you were talking about. So you guys are working on that. But at the same time, you're still keeping the deliveries going, right? Like you guys are still making food and sending food out.
And we have a responsibility. We have 30 employees at the whistle stop, so we have a responsibility to ensure that we're taking care of them financially.
30? Did you say 30?
Now they're not all full time, but so we have a financial responsibility to make sure they're taken care of, so they can take care of their families, right? They entrusted us when they came to us for a job that that we would do what it takes to provide them financially with income. So yeah, that's always going to be our number one priority, is taking care of our customers and our employees. Yes, we have this massive project going on, but if at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we keep the revenue coming in, because if we get the eye off the prize per se, we're going to be in big trouble. And everything that we thought was fine, that we can do this big project over here, no problem. If the revenue stream dries up, it's going to get ugly for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. 30. That's, part-time or full-time. That's still a lot of overhead, plus your other expenses and stuff. So while you're working on your business, you're still working in your business and making sure cash flows coming in.
Correct. And again, we know we aren't perfect. Whether that's at the Whistle Stop or Cold Stone or wherever, I mean, just in our everyday lives, nobody's perfect. So have we sent pizzas out that, weren't up to the whistle par, or maybe weren't cut correctly, or whatever it might be. We know that happens. So we need to make sure that we continue to work on those three things: keep our employees safe and employed, keep our quality at a very high level, and what can we do to continue to improve that quality measure, and then again, be productive, or increase your revenue stream.
You've got a lot on your plate, Andrew. A lot.
Well, I think if you utilize technology, we talked about online ordering. So, one reason why I want to do online ordering is because now you're getting away, and this is all the reasons for all the projects. How can we make it easier and better? So online ordering, for example, now you're not on the phone taking the order. That employee can be doing something that adds more value to the customer. Now the tickets aren't handwritten, so you have quality issues. When they submit payment online, the ticket prints to our kitchen printer, and you hang it up, and it's all nice and pretty like. Yep, very good. And then just as far as tracking sales now. So now we have a POS that tracks all of our data, so we can work on, what's a dog on the menu? What do we need to get rid of? What are our big sellers? So all those things that we kind of work on is, again, going back to making the operation better.
Nice. Yeah. So people can order right through the site, right? Can you see the site?
Yep. And again, I don't, before COVID, we were doing 50 to 70 online orders a week. So it was already going that way. And now that's almost doubled. And wow. one reason why, which is, I guess, a good on my end, bad on the customer's end, is that the phones are ringing off the hook. And again, thanks to all the great customers. But so I think that's one reason why a lot of people are kind of going to the online ordering. They don't have to wait on the phone to be clear. They can go on there and they can order, and boom, done.
Nice.
Gives them a confirmation email, tells them the time it'll be ready. Is it the best online ordering system out there? No, but for a mom and pop shop, I feel like it's a very clean and it's very user friendly system that people can use.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You're definitely ahead of the curve. Yeah, a lot of restaurants are still working on a platform like this, but you've had it for how long now?
Online ordering is probably about 3.5 years. And then delivery is probably about a year out. So the nice thing is I can go in behind the scenes, like I said, and I can change delivery zones. Yep. I can change wait times. So say it's a Friday or Saturday night and we are just extremely busy. I can draw that wait time out. So maybe it's 35 minutes typically. We'll draw it out to an hour or something like that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're seeing some sold out items. So again, those were some tough decisions we had to make. What makes financial sense to still have on our menu during COVID?
Yep.
And what doesn't? So chicken, you'll see sold out, and gizzards. Those were already a little bit of a waste item anyway.
Yeah.
So and we can't get the product. So.
Right.
And then that item there, beer, that was a pivot. So we had it on a project list to start delivering beer. We already knew that it was legal to do so, as long as they prove age, obviously. So that was one thing that I spent about 3 hours expediting, and we got that taken care of. So you can literally go on, order a pizza, order a case of beer, and we'll deliver it right to you.
Awesome. And you guys card when you get to the person's house, or
the delivery driver will card yeah.
That is pretty nifty. I did not know about that. That is it's a great one. Great one. So 3 years you've had this system in place, and then the delivery about a year, right?
Correct.
Awesome. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Cool. I don't know if we missed anything. We talked about a lot of things, but the main thing here is you guys have been flexible, you've been creative, and you've been both working on the business and working in the business. You're juggling both at the same time. How can people support you? Do you want them to go to the Whistle Stop Facebook page? How can we support you?
Yeah, I mean, as always, they can visit whistlebarandgrill.com and order online. They can call us. I mean, we'll never not ever answer the phones for years and years and years to come, you know. So a lot of people have that number memorized, 937-337-4101. You can order over the phone. Um, but yeah, nothing's changed. We're still here for the community. And one thing that has been very encouraging is that the community has really rallied around us. We needed them more than ever, and without any hesitation, they came out and continue to come out and support us every single day. And thank you. We do thank you for that. Because quite frankly, there was a time just a short few weeks ago that we were worried if we were going to be here. But we've had community members reach out and made it very known that they are going to do everything they can to ensure that we are here after COVID goes away. And so thank you again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you want to share with the business owners in this group or restaurant owners in general?
I think a lot of restaurant owners in this area, not just restaurant owners, but small business owners in Darke County and our surrounding counties have done a great job pivoting. You talk about that a lot. It's huge. We don't exactly know what the new norm is going to be after this, but it's not going to be what it was before this. So be open-minded on everything as far as, cleaning procedures that are going to become just the expectation from our customers, what that's going to look like. Maybe changes to the menu. Delivery and takeout obviously is going to become more of a norm than ever. And all these things change depending on what business you're in, obviously. Maybe you own clothing, so more people are going to buy off of your website than ever before. So that's my recommendation is never think that don't think we're going to go back to the old norm, because we're not. Again, I don't really know what the new norm is. I'm taking guesses. That's all we can do. I'm listening to podcasts, doing what you're doing. I'm talking to the professionals at GFS and our suppliers to see what they're hearing or seeing. But from some of the podcasts I've listened to, this is in the restaurant business, but there's going to be a ton of new additional guidelines as far as menu cleaning and just what was becoming a little bit of a norm was the tablets on the tables. Now we might take a step backwards and there'll be Apple Pay where you don't no money is being actually handed off, but you might not have all these hands on the tablets and stuff at the tables and stuff like that. Again, I think there could be cleaning protocols put in place, but so again, it's just one of the many examples of how I think things are going to change. Some things might go backwards a little bit, but most things are going to be totally different as far as the processes that we're going to have to put in place to gain our customers' trust when they come in and dine in your restaurant. No different than what we've done in the carryout business. Hands-free delivery, where we're encouraging people to pay over the phone with credit cards, order online. Those are things that'll never go away either. But luckily, we've already adapted and changed there. So we have to think with the same open-mindedness regarding our dining rooms.
You raise a great point. So we have to embrace this new normal, and this is going to be less contact in order for restaurants to gain that trust back, because we're obviously going to transition into this. We're not just going to open the doors and everyone's going to rush to their favorite restaurant. People are still going to be wary. Obviously now they're saying like handshaking is not going to be a thing. It's a kind of a thing of the past. So the restaurants are going to, that are businesses with a lot of contact, a lot of touching, a lot of handling food and stuff, they're going to see major changes. So you're talking about Apple Pay, hands off, everything's going to be contactless in the years to come.
One thing I think I'm hearing is paper menus. So one-use paper menus. And these are things that you're going to have to build into the cost. I mean, I don't think any business owner can realistically expect to consume all these costs, whether it's hand sanitizer. But so I think there's going to be some inflation come out of this too. So you're going to have to raise menu prices potentially a little bit to cover some of these additional measures that are going to have to be put in place. But I think one of the things is going to be paper menus potentially. So one use, I know it's a waste, and maybe that don't last forever. Maybe that's just a few months. But I really think the way that people think is going to change forever out of this.
I believe that. I believe that. Cool. Andrew, if you don't have anything else to add, I appreciate your time, man. And I really hope that people are going to drop some questions and some comments that we can that we can talk about some more. And I also want to do another call maybe 3 months from now, 4 months from now, just to see what we talked about today and how we're visualizing it now and how it's going to come into reality later.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate the time. You have a good day.
Cool. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it, buddy.
Bye.